Let's see. We're gonna kick it old school. That's right. Basically, I'm just going to, do a quick, just do a commentary while I'm doing this. I did say old school. It's so weird because the 1980s was not really that long ago. The 1980s is like almost a child's age ago. But then it's not really. Because if you take off the 2000s, all of it, 17 years, and go back, say, 18 years, 1999. And the 1980s is still far behind. Alright, so I'm doing it like this because, I want to. It's not going to be about picture quality or whatever. It's going to be about, well, the bleak and dull nonsense of one mind. It's so cool. The beginning of this has that heavy metal grinding music, and then when you actually play it, it's like that's what we used to listen to. That's what we. And we're gonna see which one has it. I think it's USB. Single player. Low hand. I'm in the factory. We're going chill out in the factory. Excuse me. Hiccups. I know. It's not really meant so that, really you're gonna watch the game. There's a whole involvement here. And no, I don't have it on hard. Not about any of that. This is casual. Casual nothing. What kind of casual nothing are we doing? What's down here? Jerks. Oh. I thought about all the little things. Why does everything suck? Well, that's pretty simple, and people don't know why they do the things that they do. I figured I'd sit down and watch a bit of entertainment. I mean, there too lies part of our problems. Say, Wilson, you can't really say that about entertainment. You're sitting there playing a video game right now. It's not about not being a hypocrite. It's not about being contradictory or not being contradictory or anything like that. It's not about any of those things. I'm not trying to change, distort, or do anything with, the reality around me. I think that that's utter nonsense. Oh, look, my power extra, we're off. No, the reason why I think everything sucks is because people are constantly trying to make everything not suck by saying that they have the right way, that they have the keys. People claiming that, if you join this particular religion or this particular group, that you'll be a better person, or it's always something like that. And even these video games, like, we do too much of this stuff. And some people will argue against it. It's one time they would say, and by they I mean just about everybody who's basically an adult. I mean, I'm an adult now. I'm in my 40s. I remember when this game came out. They would say that these games are causing young people to become violent. So they would say that it desensitized you from violence, from killing, and that this game would turn people into killers. I remember even thinking then, what a silly thing that actually is, to believe that a game, something that is not even real, is going to make people into seriously disturbed, color. It could have been somebody who's already, disturbed to begin with. Oh, that sucks. I lost all my numbers. It's just a video game. But I mean, this is the reason why everything sucks. And so you would ask, why is that? Like, if you have to continue asking, why is that? And you're not really seeing the point, are you? That either way, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. And that don't make any sense. Okay. You gotta have a special key for a special door. You have to be through the maze and come to this big, clever understanding, and voila, you got it. I studied what everybody told me to study. You got stuff about Jesus, about flat Earth, about lots of things, and none of it actually makes any sense whatsoever. Oh wow, I really messed myself up then. I'm gonna load it because where I start to, I have guns. Yay, guns! I've never shot a gun off in my life, but I've killed loads of people and things in video games, which technically makes me a killer. I'm a virtual killer, not a real killer. Apparently, somebody else said that life is a digital copy, that it's not real. We're living in a world that's not actually real. It's maybe they're right. Who cares? And who cares if they are right? What would it matter? And instead of doing this over and over, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna save it. Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Yeah, a little bit better, so I don't have to lose my round thing. go down to, I haven't took the long way, of course. And went in a circle. Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't care now. I'm going to do it differently. Because my insanity of doing that over and over is not working. But if I were to ask, like, how would you really know of anything? Like, well, we know that this is just a simple video game because, well, it's pixelated and it's two-dimensional things. Like that creature on the ground there, let me get a look at it. It is two-dimensional. You look around. I mean, you can't look down or up, not like the newer games. Your view is fixated on the center. Right? So, there you have it. You can't look down there, right? You can't look around. You can only, like, turn. You're not turning your character, by the way. You're turning the room. That's how they did this. And people honestly do believe, wholeheartedly, that this particular kind of violence and stuff is all really going to change the human mind. It's going to make you different. So now we have much more sophisticated violent games than the ones like these. I mean, the new Doom, they say this ain't your daddy's Doom. Oh yeah, and I played it, and you can like rip these creatures apart and whatever. I think it's funny that nobody says anything anymore, and people had their time back then. They were like, "Oh yeah, no, that's just horrific stuff." Power Rangers make kids violent, and there's still people that would believe that the Power Rangers made the kids violent. It wasn't the fact that there was violence; it was the Power Rangers. And if you really think about what I'm saying there, the truth of it will come to your mind. You'll be like, "Wow, I never really thought about it that way." It wasn't the violence that made kids violent. It was the Power Rangers. So now you have a catalyst for it, for the reality. You have something to put the blame on, to take it in. And the catalyst is introducing this new idea, this new concept called violence into children's lives. But I mean, then poor Tommy or Anna would anger their parent, and their parent would spank them, and that behavior was considered okay. But that's violence. It's violence. Personally, I think sometimes the insanity must be the only insanity. And no matter what way you want to put it or try and name it, it is what it is. Now, look, I just totally messed that creature up that had arms for guns for arms, and that was the thing. That was what it was. They were saying, like, this is the violence, man. It's all this stuff came out of somebody's mind. It's disturbing. It's so Machiavellian or whatever. We should do something about this. Who cares that, in this world, there are actual, real violent people that have seriously decent upbringings and, whatever. Like apparently, Jeffrey Dahmer was, raised in a nice home with a good family, a decent life. Yes. Wow. I'm just really not finding my way. Oh, well, all kinds of things open up there. Um, so Jeffrey Dahmer is like this evil. Nobody really says anything about how he was a good Christian and grew up in a family. So they're not going to say Christianity. Like, and I'm not putting down Christianity, believe me, since I know what that means. That Christianity itself is just horribly violent. Yet, they talk about how Jesus was crucified in the Bible. And when I say crucified, I mean what they mean by crucifixion. Before the crucifixion, he was, I forget what the word is, like flogged or something like that. They use a weapon called the Cat of Nine Tails, which now is a toy used during domination, sexual desire. But they use this thing called the Cat of Nine Tails, and it had little fragments of steel and bone and whatever on the end of it, and they would use this thing to really tear into your body. Look, I don't even need that. Oh, you just came right at me out of nowhere. I know I'm not doing really good right now. It doesn't seem like I'm explaining things. But even my mild idiocy towards reality in itself is a telltale sign of, that I do know that I see. Accident. What is it that I see? Would it make any difference? Oh, something's opening in there. Maybe it's just that thing going up and down. Anyway, he's kind of dying because of that stuff. All right. Oh, what the heck was that? Dark areas. Oh. Oh. One bullet for that. I got the really big gun. It is the gun of guns in this game. It's the gun. Okay, well, I have to leave this spot now, I would assume, because I figured everything out. Here. That would be the easiest way to do it. Oh. Oh, yeah. All that, all that. Oh, oh. Thank you. There we go. Let's go back. realize I'm looking right at the screen. I know. But like I said, this moment is not really about the video game or me. What's in between all of that? I gotta get the heck out of this place. I gotta get some help. Health. Where's the health, dude? Health. Let's get some of this health on the go. Oh. Oh, if you're not I'm not a drinker, and I had wine last night. Never had wine. It's a nasty, nasty drink. And I'm not a drinker, so even a small amount of it is actually pretty harsh to me. All right, now we're gonna leave this spot. Do we? Yeah. Aha! Yay! Now we gotta hit all these switches. Come on. I hit it. No switch here. Alright. See you later, guys. Really nice hanging with you, Oh, man. Another switch. Alright. You look like you could be switched. That was it. Alright. Oh, that's the exit. Screw it. 30% kills, but 75% secrets. Oh, what is the world made of? What is it really? I just talked a whole bunch of gibberish. Does any of it matter? I wish I had Quake, the old Quake. Quake, I think it was Quake and Quake 2. After that, they had those arena games. First-person shooter, adventure type, find your way around games became less appealing. You've seen a lot of what do you call games where? Oh yeah, that's right off the top. This one. Look at this. You know, like I will kick your ass. I'm here. I'm here. All right, let's try it again. Hello. You just walk right past me, dude. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. This is a metaphor for everything. Like if you think about what they thought back in the day when they thought this is going to teach you to be a psychopath. This will make you a psychopath. That'll make you a psychopath. All these games, like what mentally dysfunctional human being sat down and paved the way for some other things that are violent and give you a fright. I've had a few video games creep me out a bit. The what do you call it? Silent Hill video games. I've had a few jump scares from Resident Evil video games. They're really good for that. There are a few, but I probably should have stayed up there. Who knows? Oh yeah, I should have stayed up there. All right, let's try that again. Because I need something in there. All right. Now these are really, really mild. Not even really. Like you can barely tell that things are. You know, there's something violent is happening. There's a gun firing. You know, there's creatures, and every now and then there's almost a human-looking creature that'll show up, and he doesn't know how to talk. He makes mumblish kinds of sounds, and you know, like you have people from years ago saying this is horrible violence. All right, so I need a key to get in there. Oh, I know that now. Good information. I can't go in there. I can't go up in there. Don't have a key for there. Not invisible. These things barely work. He's like, I'm a horny beast. It's so stupid. Oh, anyway. So I do have a point to make. It's just long, drawn out, boring point. Maybe it's also not. Because I came to a realization, I think that other people can too. But it wasn't just one thing, it was like a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of messed up things that brought me to this so-called precipice of understanding. I can create these areas on Minecraft. Probably not as good as these areas would be, like the fact that I don't have a gun. But yeah, you can create these areas. You do this in Minecraft, and kids can like, build them up. I mean, they're just blocks. Look at them. You do that. You can create doors that open like, but they go from side to side. You do all that. Do that hard? Run as fast as I can. You catch me, I'm Gingerbread Man. We grew up with the whole Dr. Seuss, cartoons and stuff back in the day. Things like this made people go, "Oh, that's just horrible. That's not a very nice thing." And they they then forced you. They forced you to take a side. Like certain kids were just not allowed to look at it or experience any of that stuff. I think half of those are the ones that ended up becoming angry young people. Sorry if anybody has epilepsy. That um, I wonder how that happened. The whole epilepsy thing. Wow, that was messed up. Kind of cool. Oh no. So anyway, I did a few things there. Now the big gun is gone. God's sake. It is impossible to do these areas like this. No. I want to be invisible because there's so many monsters. There's a good point there. You could feel super powerful with all your guns and whatever and things. Oh, look at that. Look at it. They came down and squished me. Who is throwing fireballs? Alright, so let's try and find a way to do a good comparison. Yes, exit. Let's exit completely. All right. Oh, exit that far? All right, Dune BFG edition. So, when the Xbox came out, I played Doom when they put it on the Super Nintendo. Oh, so very long ago. And that's when everybody was like kind of like saying these really crazy things. This is not the newest Doom, but it's Doom. Let's see. The campaign. We'll go continue my campaign in here. See where I'm to in this. The newer one is actually super violent. And what's the metaphor, for our digital existence and the things that are happening? Roadrunner has to be constantly running away from Wile E. Coyote because he's going to kill him. And here I am, wondering why, I don't like the way there's no zoom. Right, that's the minigun in this, hey? And this guy didn't disappear. All right, let's get a more personal weapon. All right, no shotgun. All right. Look at this. Blood scattered on the floor, and you know that that's blood. There's a skeleton. Looks like it's kind of dissolving into the floor. I mean, there's all this visceral stuff. I mean, those walls are completely covered in blood. Let's get a flashlight on. Take a look. All right, so here, look at this. Right? Imagine back in those days of the original Doom. This is what. This looks like a crime scene. Parents would go off their rocker. I mean, this is still not up to the par of the newer version of Doom. The newer version of Doom makes this look like my original Doom. Get away from me. So yes, how does it desensitizes you from video game violence? Oh. You're such a jerk. Anyway. Alright, so we're going to take a look at this area. And let's pretend... Oh. Well, that's the serial killer. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this area. I'm going to change my weapon. We're going to do the whole I'm like a police officer thing. There we go. Alright, Officer Wilson. It appears the victim had been shot in the stomach and dragged to this position. The blood pools have a pattern that looks as though there have been more victims dragged, but this is the only one. Weapon had been fired here. It was a large weapon, quite possibly a shotgun, and blah, 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 blah. He's got blood on his leg. We don't know why. 2 legs. And his eyes are really messed up. All right. So this is a generic looking creature of the game. I think I just messed him up. What's in here? Armor shards. So, there we go. Let's think about that contrast, that difference. What's that difference? That is a huge, huge difference. And yes, I'm going to exit this game again. Oh, they would kill for the Power Rangers now. They would be like, oh my gosh, I wish Power Rangers were still here. Let's go and take a look at some of my games. Well, actually, this is my. So I have their kids. I don't let my kids play some of these things because I'm afraid it might scare them. I have young children, very young children. So I would play the Monkey Island or Rayman Origins. The Cave, which is actually pretty messed up. So I played it once with my daughter. And there's this part where a princess in the cave actually gets eaten. So I was just like, all right, so you're not playing that no more. But that's the difference there, isn't it? Like when I talk about how people discuss, yeah, I don't have internet on my Xbox. That's why you don't see none of these pictures. When I talk about these old ways of looking at violence and violent structures, why is it that I have a problem with it? Well, for one, video games don't make people kill people. if anything, a video game possibly be an outlet for violent behavior. And, well, seeing violence doesn't make one violent. Being afraid causes one to be violent. So seeing violence and becoming scared or terrified or afraid or whatever puts you into your instinctive mode. Your instinctive mode is natural, fight or flight. Natural instinct to do these things. Now, when the children were watching, and my daughter likes the Power Rangers, when they were watching Power Rangers back in the day, what were the parents doing that their children were whacking each other with sticks and this was a discussion in school. I kind of like lost it in school. Then I thought to myself, like, this is retarded behavior. Like, it's absolutely retarded behavior for you guys to stand there and talk and say that these children are violent. We have to do something about the TV show. What you have to do something about is the parenting process. These parents are simply allowing their children to be exposed to violent behaviors and not saying, hey, listen, that's a TV show. What you're doing is really actually violent. You can't be hitting your sister, your brother with a stick. It's be very dangerous. We might be strong creatures, but we're actually very fragile creatures too. It doesn't take very much to put somebody in the hospital. You explain this to your child, you're like, those things are make believe. That's a show where they're all pretending to hit each other. They're not actually hitting each other. And you can actually show your kid, this is how we pretend we pretend fight. So this is how you be like, it's still a form of violence. But I mean, if they're not trying to actually harm each other and just pretending, and they're both aware, like, listen, you have to like say to somebody, let's pretend to be Power Rangers and we'll have pretend battles. Then, you're getting permission that they actually want to engage in this activity, and you can take responsibility for it. And I'm like just shooting this stuff off the top of my head. What happened back in the 80s, 90s, and people didn't think of these things. Right? You got the FDA. Well, let's pick something. What's it doing? Skyrim just takes too long. All right. Let's put in. Let's put in children's other games. Okay. That was already in there. Right? I had to turn it off and just had forgotten about it. There we go. Minecraft. It's just Minecraft. Minecraft has a few things in it. Some things that you might not know. Somebody brought up to me about the Pythagorean theorem. You can use the Pythagorean theorem in Minecraft if you know how many blocks there is for you to do something. All right. I create worlds for my children sometimes. They love it. They love it. People act like they know, but I'm not gonna. I'm actually just going into the middle of a thought. Anyway, I created this maze for my kids, and in this maze, I would put down all kinds of monsters in this whole thing. These monsters are fought with this here sword you get in this giant maze. If you're wondering, it didn't actually take very long to make this maze. It took a couple hours, a few hours, I should say. Some parts were actually pretty intricate. Like there's a room just down right here. And this is the exit room. I made it kind of fun. I was like, all right, mining gear inside, because in the beginning of this whole maze, you have to relinquish your gear in front door, and you come through, it's like, oh, look, and that closes, you can't get back out. So you have to go down here to get your mining gear. All right. Look at this beautiful room made of diamond and gold, and you can't dig through the bottom of it. You don't got no mining gear. Oh, what was that? Yeah, that's how you leave. It's like this. Start to go. Oh, sorry. Oh, can't go out through that door anyway, and it pushes you down here. Like, oh no! How do I get out? Gotta fix that. Oh, and there's your treasure. Right? Put the treasure box right outside. Any other kids can come out and play the whole mine. It takes a while to do that maze. I made the maze by making a line with blocks from the ground up into the air and made a big long line. And then I used lava and went along with the lava. And then I used water to cool the lava, and I made these walls. I didn't have to spend any time making each and every individual block for the wall. I made the whole wall with one water and just let it fall. You can make your maze, your initial maze, as high as you want. Go really high, and just go from a line, from one line coming from one block line coming from the ground. So if I were to start one here, I'm just going to do something small. I know, does it seem very small? You'll see what I mean once I like to try and make certain parts of the mine really, really simplified. You might not think that this is going to be much, but it will. I'll show you what I mean. finish it. Just go. Oh, I was doing something. Let's not deviate. Alright. Just gonna back here like this. The video is live right now, so if you want to speed it up when it's all done and recorded, that's perfectly fine. Alright, so I'm just doing this as a mock-up, and I can do more with it if I wanted to. But this is what I do. I try to stick on the side because if you go on the top, you make a very thick wall, and it can become difficult to actually turn it into a wall. It gives you more work. So I just do one side of the brick. I find this to be the easiest way, fastest way to make giant walls. If you're going for a different kind of maze, if you want your maze to look like a specific kind of brick, then you wouldn't be able to do this. This is just for your fast, simple way. You know, I just want to make a maze really quick, and I want to make a huge maze. You don't even have to use the water. You can just leave the maze exactly like this. Have a maze made entirely of lava, which could be a pretty cool maze in itself. Right, so I'm going to have some really cool areas here. And if I really want, I can build several floors in my maze here. You see the patterns that I'm creating? Like, just there's patterns within the patterns. And you'll see that after how much you are actually building when you do this. Anybody who already does this or knows to do this, like I just did it on a whim. I was trying to make a building up in the sky for my daughter, and I wanted the 4 pillars of the building to be lava, so it looked like the building was held up by lava. And this is actually one of the methods that I used. Like, all I had to do was put a one block and then put a bit of lava on the block, and I was like, wow, man, what if I made a huge line going across and did this same thing? Now it only took me a minute to start this. I'll show you now the just I don't mean to do that. But I do have a little design in my mind. All right. Oh, we're connected. Yeah, connected. I didn't really want it to do that. It doesn't matter. I can fix that. Okay. Anyway, let's use our water. See, it only takes a second. We're just gonna keep going here. entire area everywhere into just one huge maze. And keep going, keep going, keep going. You have to cut trees down because the lava will burn the trees. And whatever trees are left kind of makes it look like a apocalyptic kind of looking land inside of the maze. Also, if you want, you can put dirt on the top of the maze and you put trees everywhere on the maze, make it look old. And on the sides, you can put vines and stuff like that. I haven't hardly done anything with these places yet, except for make them. And I left some of the lava areas to create obstacles. That lava pillar. I have this thing here where I'm gonna be like, yeah, go ahead, jump. You can't jump it. It's impossible. So, this is an actual impossible part of the maze. To get through that portion, you have to go a different way. But I made it so that if you went in any specific way, and also this too. Some of these areas are deep, extremely deep. And you can't walk in them, so some of the maze might not even have any ground. Right? Animals find their way in here. And I didn't have to make the maze super difficult to traverse because it's so high you can't see anything. And anything that you put into it, like I put levels and stuff into it in areas where you have to like find your way around. It's like, it's mind numbing. You can't know where you are easily in this maze unless you built it. I built it, so I know where everything is. That and I'm mildly Asperger's, so I have a strange thing for stuff like this. Anyway, this is just a quick mock-up for me. I got there and I like, what can I do? Quickly made a maze. Here's the new portion of the maze that I made for you guys. And let's just use, I like being able to find things. Let's use lights. You just watch the water fall away. No more water. The hardest part about doing it is this. It's not a difficult thing. I'm sure somebody has a cool way. I'm going to look up some stuff, but I mean, this is just something I came with on my own. I never really bothered looking for ways to make mazes. I thought it was a cool idea. And I rolled with it. I really like mazes. Mazes are cool. It's one of my favorite things about mythology. We're just going to finish up the maze. Now, I found when doing this, there's usually always a portion on the inside of the maze that you don't easily get rid of the lava. I didn't try to stop that because I thought it would also be cool to keep those in certain places because you kind of make these walls on the outside that don't have lava and there's walls on the inside that do have lava. So it's like, you can't just simply mine that. You know what I mean? And there's my wall that I didn't want. But I didn't change it because I figured I might be able to do something with that now, and I am. I mean, it's not going to seem to you at this very second like, oh, it can't be fun to get rid of all of that excess or whatever. But that's where I'm going to show you how we're going to have fun with that. All right, so we see the water starting to go down. Get rid of this portion. I want to do something specific in here. All right. We see the lava's going down portion of it. Another portion, yes. All right, so that lava might completely go. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's see if we can force it to go. Oh. You going? You going? This? No? 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 Alright, whatever. Okay. Alright, so this is what we're going to do to mess with this wall a bit. I was thinking, do we keep it? Do we get rid of it? What do we do? Alright, so there's lava inside of it. That's going to be an irritant. But not that much of an irritant. We use our TNT. All right. Now, light our TNT. Give it a second. Oh yeah, you guys gotta go. All right, so look, there's a portion completely gone. It's all gone. I'm gonna turn that into a wall, and then I'm going to blast away some of that. Do the same here. And again, we have all this excess. We don't want that there. Oh, there we go. It's gone. All right. So we have things made here like we're changing the entire identity of this whole spot. Notice, like I said, we have this excess in the walls of lava. This one, which could actually, be a wall or, and get rid of it. But in the meantime, I'm going to make it into a wall. There we go. So I do that. And then I can just put whatever brick I like there. Get rid of the water. See, as you're building walls, you're getting rid of your water. Like that. Not very difficult. And you're making these entire areas there massive, what would normally take you hours to do, just to get the foundation, the outside of the entire, let me see that really well, of the, see, like, you know what I mean? It's really simple. It's like, all you really have to do is just build, cut off the water supplies, and the whole water area starts to dissipate. Guys, get rid of this water area. This. Didn't have to do much to get rid of that one. Alright. And voila. We have another giant portion of the maze done. What I would do then, and get rid of some of these things. You don't have to. You can. I'm going to start building something here. Let's try this. The cool thing is that once you're in creative mode, you don't have to worry about certain things. All right. Now. We're going to get rid of this now. We don't want that to be there. It's just going to be in the way. And the water is going to be in the way, so let's get rid of the water. And that's also going to be in the way. So now we're going to get rid of this. All right. So some of it survived, like I was hoping. This is not exactly like I'm kind of hoping for that spot, but we do have a little tunnel created. I'm going to get rid of this water. I don't really want that there. All right, we have a tunnel created, and you can just basically say if you wanted to build a spot here. All right, there's your walkway. You have a start for something if you want to build into this area over here. That for that to be like an entrance or whatever. And we could just go like that, or we just go right through and into there. So let's try doing it that way. It's not entirely simple. Because yes, you have to build into the lava. We don't want to get rid of our lava, so what we will do is we're just going to get rid of a portion of the lava. Oh, and we already see how this becomes difficult. So watch. Right now, which is pretty decent. All right, that's that portion done. Do something similar over here. We're just going to start like that. Let's do this. That lava is just being a jerk. Like, I'm gonna fall down right there. Oh, look at the little lamb trying to climb up. Yeah. All right. So the block here. Get rid of that. That lava is just really being a jerk. Rid of that lava. I'm sick of it. Hi, lava. All right, so the lava's all gone. So here's what we're going to do. Later on, we're going to put stairs there. Beautiful snowy area. We really want just symmetry in the area for the moment so that we can build something that is easy to use to make things. Right? So the hole started on this side already. There we go. That ended up a little bit better. All right. That didn't. And that's the moment where you're like, did not expect that to happen. But the cool thing is that because that just happened, now I'm going to use it. But I'm going to get rid of the entire lava part. But later I'm going to build something for the lava. So let's just get rid of the lava part. This part of the lava. Sometimes when these accidents happen, something cool happens. You'll get something you weren't expecting, or a look you weren't expecting. It could be anything. Right now, it did some of the building for me, so I didn't have to do some of these things. And look at that. I have my way into the next building. Create my floor. All right. This cool snowy walkway, I'm not sure I even want to change that. So now we have a way into the other maze. So we can see now we have a whole other maze here we can do. So That's a lot of time spent in the stream.